This is Pod Populi, podcast for the people.
Welcome to the Tragedy Academy, a show created to bridge societal divides in a judgment-free zone using candor and humor. My name is Jay. If you came here for your life's purpose or to make yourself a better person, you probably might want to go back to the other episode before this, or maybe the one after it. This is Detention, right? So we just cut it up. And for the first time in fucking 173 episodes plus the 75 before that, I have the best of my support throughout this entire endeavor finally on the show. I feel like I've been disrespectful by not inviting you sooner.
No way.
But welcome to the show, Dan.
Thank you very much for having me. So good to see you, brother.
It is, right? You know, I was thinking about it before we came on, and the conversation we had the first night we met was fucking surreal. If you look forward to now, right? What do you remember from that conversation?
6.5 years ago.
How many was it? 7.5?
Almost 6.5 years ago.
Shit. That's a long time.
It was 2018, November. It was the day that I arrived in Florida when I moved from upstate New York. Drove my Honda Civic full of my stuff. That's all that I had. That's what I moved to Florida with. And so we went to Janine's house, right? She was working at MetLife at the time. And so that's where I met you. And you told me, well, we kind of clicked over talking about music and headphones, particularly. You were telling me about the Jaybird headphones, you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
hot trash.
And so, hot trash. Well, you were trying to sell me on them 6 years ago. So.
I'm so far beyond Jaybirds now that it just seems like, why the fuck did I ever own those?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so we did talk about headphones and shit, and we were just BSing.
Yeah. And what did you tell me that night?
So we're going to be friends forever.
Yeah.
Like, what a weird thing to say. So here's the thing. The only way that we're going to be friends forever as a statement works and doesn't appear psycho is if you stay friends forever. You can't, if you fucking don't accept it, it suddenly becomes a fucking psychopath scenario.
I know, little did you know, I walked out of Janine's house that night and said,
holy shit.
Who the hell was that guy?
Who was that dude? Welcome to Florida.
Did I come over the next day or maybe it was a week later or something?
I think it was. Like, you were homeless for a little while. When you got here, you were kind of like fucking a transient, moving from home to home until it was all set up when Chelsea got here.
At the time, my future father-in-law at the time, not my father-in-law currently. And that's what like I said, I moved down in my Honda Civic full of my stuff of what could fit, and that was it.
Dude, you really took the leap.
Yeah. I don't know. Never thought I would, and just had the opportunity, and I'll never regret it. I mean, obviously I got to meet you, but just, the experience of doing it, being away from home, I've always wanted to, and I'm glad I did. One day I would like to be south again. I'm not a fan of the snow, not a fan of the cold, but here I am in upstate New York.
Dude, it's a whole special. Yeah, it's a whole special kind of cold in New York.
Oh,
like not New York City.
Yeah,
that's nothing. Upstate New York is fucking frozen hell. Like,
oh yeah.
I don't understand why somebody that was moving to this country or migrating or however you end up in a location decided to stop there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see myself going, yeah, this looks good.
Yeah, I think we're good here. Yeah. Yeah,
This works.
I mean, I don't say that now, so I can't imagine they said it back then.
No. Like, and you didn't even have running water back then, you know, or anything to clean up the swamp.
I will say this though, last year, our first winter back since we moved to Florida in 2018, it wasn't bad at all. We're well over double the snowfall this year than we had last year. It was like kind of a punch in the face. Like, here's a nice easy winter when you move back, but here's reality. We're luckily right in the snow band of the lake effect snow off of Lake Ontario.
Fucking yeah, the snow belt, dude. I lived in it. It's a land of the frozen chosen.
Yeah.
I would not wish that on my worst enemy. Like, no. Go play in this. It's 50 below zero with the wind chill.
Yeah.
Thank you. Your eyes freeze. I remember the first time I ran in weather like that and like freaking out because I saw something like right in front of my face, but it figured out that it was frozen frost hanging on my eyelashes.
Then you feel it in your nose too, and your nose freezes on the inside.
Hurts.
But hey, I mean, we walked to school in it back in the day, you know.
Back in New York, Dan's on the show. We're going to hang out tonight. We're going to go through a couple of things. I did a little homework before we started. I prepared, which, you know, I probably put more time into this than I should admit, considering what the day job for this show is.
Right? So be nervous or
trying to help the world, you know, bridge societal divides in the day. And I put an inordinate amount of time into listing off nonsense that I wanted to talk about with you. But you know what? We need this. And I haven't had it in a while on the show. Like, I haven't had a good detention episode, you know, with a friend and somebody that you just enjoy being around. So I'm excited for this. But I told you today, like, I reached out and I said, hey, look, man, I want you to just think about some random shit and that comes throughout your day. Because I like to think about the musings that we don't tell others, that you're like, well, what the fuck why is this a thing or something like that? And then it got me to thinking, you know, that I came across something today in my mind. I don't know why. I was thinking about dancing. Right. And people dancing. I'm like, can you do it if you don't have elbows? Or say that your arms cannot be bent? Like a no elbow challenge, if you will.
Okay, here's my answer. Yes.
Okay. However,
Okay. Go on.
Yeah. Please continue.
Oh, me continue. Okay. So I say yes, because, you know, although it is going to look very weird, you can still move your legs, right? Moving your legs is part of dancing.
I mean, you run out of dance moves when the elbows are taken out of the equation.
But at the very least, you're inventing a new style of dancing.
Like, seriously, like what? Because everybody immediately, what happens if I say, Dan, dance? Immediately, your arms kind of come up to you. They bend at the elbow.
Naturally.
Right? Yeah. So it's like, what happens if you have to only say the custom is the best dancers don't bend their elbows?
Well, I would say this, just trying it physically, I would say it takes more of your body to dance without elbows than it does with.
It probably does.
Yeah. Okay.
We should do that. We should start the hashtag no elbow challenge, and you should try to A, dance, or B, perform some task around the home that generally requires an elbow. Like drinking a glass of milk, like we were talking about before we came on the show. Like, drink your glass of milk without an elbow.
Wow.
What other things would be very difficult without the elbow?
Around the house.
Around the house.
Oh, wow.
It's just everyday life. Like you'd have to. Your seat would have to be really far back in the car.
Brushing your teeth. I mean,
you'd have to brush your friend's teeth. There's a lot of things that would become a couple fucking affair.
Yeah,
like how do you wipe your ass?
That's a whole new type of marriage right there.
Oh, it is, dude. It's called an elbowless marriage. You have to support each other without ever bending your elbows. I think this is something that could be life-changing in couple therapy.
This is a game show idea, too, if you think about it. We just fashion some kind of contraption that keeps your arms completely straight, and you have to live with your spouse for 48 hours or however long it is.
Like you can really just remove one item from capabilities and let people have to live life. It's actually a great way to teach about disabilities and fucking handicapable, and accessible or whatever. I'm not saying that. I mean, I would consider myself disabled if my elbows were fused straight out.
Yeah, I think so.
That would be mad.
Yourself. Yeah.
God,
eating a bowl of cereal. Wow.
Again, back to couples activities.
Yeah.
Dude, if you're single, you're fucked. You have to buddy up. Oh,
yeah.
I don't know, man. You got to really love your friend to be, hey, man, I got the flu.
This would be a nightmare.
I got a stomach bug. I'm going to need you tonight.
I need you on call.
What? Yeah, man. You have to live together then. So, #no elbow challenge. What did you think today about, Dan?
It's hard to remember the random thoughts that go through your head, and I know I have a ton of them. But it was hard to put a finger on one. But I'll tell you some of the things I've been thinking about lately, and one of them is home improvements, because we have a lot of things we want to do around the house. We've gotten a quote for paving the driveway and everything, and just how expensive everything is. We're going through all that. So it's always a fun time. But and work too. I'm so invested in work sometimes. I just, sometimes forget to think about the random things that make us laugh.
Man, dude, I live in cutaway land. I'm always watching something while I'm watching something going. Right? I'm not laughing outwardly, but I'm definitely laughing. Like, you remember those old Muppets in the balcony? Statler and Waldorf, they're in my head on the side, inside, facing into my brain, watching the movie. And they're like, did you see that? Oh, man, dude. So I did come up with some more things, so I'm not going to leave you on the spot like that. I really put you on the spot when I sent that. I was like, I wonder what he's going to come up with. It's either
I know. I'm like, what does he want me to think? What does he want me to think about right now?
I don't know. Why aren't forks longer? Fucking, I don't know. Because then you would need 2 elbows.
I'm sure I can think of something. Something's going to come to me.
Anyway,
I have a lot of those. Like, why is it like that?
So I did want to talk about something. I watched you pick up a passion. You started without it, kind of like I did with podcasting, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And then you became a fan of this particular, genre of entertainment, I guess.
I know what you're talking about.
Right? And now you're pretty well invested in it as a fan and as a person that simulates it. Right?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
All right. Tell me, how did you end up getting hooked on F1?
So It's pretty interesting. Growing up, I was never, big into racing. Cause what's the biggest thing is NASCAR. And I just really wasn't
upstate
into
New York. Yeah. They got like those dirt tracks that people fucking drive around. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, people don't realize New York is fucking
They love it, too.
yeehaw. You were talking about F1. I interrupted you.
F1,
How you became a fan.
I growing up, I loved like racing video games and everything. And I think back, like, why didn't I get into racing earlier? But anyway, we were visiting my sister-in-law Christy, one of my wife's sisters lives in Maryland. Her and her husband Patrick, they were actually into it before us. And I remember the first time I watched a race at their house, and they were kind of explaining, Lewis Hamilton to me and saying, "Oh, he's just so far ahead. It's just not even fair," And we were just watching the race. And that's just kind of where he started. So the first season that I watched was 2021. And of course, I watched the Netflix special as well. That was big, I think, with a lot of people.
Yeah, what was it called? F1 or something like that?
Yeah, it was Drive to Survive. On
Drive
Netflix.
to Survive. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we've been watching since 2021. We actually went to the race in Texas, 2021 as well, with Christine Patrick. It was awesome. It was actually unseasonably hot for that weekend, of course, while we were there. But it was a little crowded too. Like
Track hot is like a whole different kind of heat.
Yeah, in Texas, I mean, it was just dry. Yeah, it was. The heat was rough.
What did that crowd smell like? I'm sorry. No, wait, this was F1. It smelled like cologne.
Yeah, different demographic.
I'm being stereotyped, Jay. Sorry. I live in Florida, man. This is like all sorts of NASCAR here.
Yeah.
For the longest time, that ruled. Actually, Florida was a drag state. Like a lot of quarter mile drag races were done here. And then the Daytona 500 is where it's at.
Of course, one of the biggest ones. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you get that first chance to go to a track like that and you really see the power or hear or feel the power of a vehicle that you didn't realize just how fucking terrifying it is.
Yeah.
Right. What do you think that first time you felt one go by?
No, I totally agree with you. You can truly kind of feel it, if you're close enough. In an F1, I know the cars they're not as loud as they used to be, with the V10s and the V12s.
Right.
But I mean, even so with the V6s, I mean, we were, I would say, I don't know, maybe 100, 150 feet away. And even then, it's still just the sound of it just kind of overpowers you and it just flushes everything else out.
The day that I knew I didn't have a sack was the day I went to the superbike races at Daytona and saw them fuckers going by, and I was at the chain link. I was like, there is not a chance in hell that I would get on a bike. Because when they came by, it was like, everyone's like, you're like, holy, you felt it in your chest. They were moving so fast. And I was like, no, dude. There's not a chance. No, you're not strapping me to that thing and just letting me wide open run that. Because they're like jumping on curves. Like you see them get air in places.
Oh, yeah.
And they're completely sideways.
And then imagine racing people this close to you.
I don't want to be on something that you can kick and knock me off of. Like, no, not at that speed. Like I'm barely okay with it at like a cruising BMX speed. Like,
have you seen some of these guys crash though? It's like the most horrific crash at 120 miles an hour, and then they just get up and walk away like nothing happened.
Dude, it's like watching a starfish like fly through the air, like fucking. You're like, holy shit! Like this is not gonna work out. But for some reason, I don't know. I'm not making light of that because there's probably some fucking there's legit injuries in those sports. They're fucking horrifying, right? But at the same time, man, you're not wrong. I grew up on those videos where it was like, you remember Faces of Death?
No.
You're a little bit younger than me, and I forget that. So back in the day, they had these videos that were on VHS, and somebody would get a hold of it, and it had like the most horrific things in humanity on it, right? That you wouldn't, they didn't have the internet back then. You didn't have Google, you didn't have shit like that. But they came up with these tapes called Faces of Death, and they would send them out. And I remember a buddy of mine in the Army got one, but it was like a knockoff one called like Many Faces of Death. I don't know fucking who was copywriting what, but they had this scene. They're like, you've seen races, but you've never seen races like this. And then it's like fucking, you know, in England or like in Europe when they're doing like those rally fucking Euro whatever races, and they're just,
oh yeah,
people standing on the side of the road staring at Subarus flying by their eyeballs and shit.
Away from them. Yeah.
Yes. They're like, they showed this car just completely miss the turn and fucking mow down a goddamn crowd. And this is like 1997. So like it was, we were not desensitized by then. So we were all just sitting there like, holy shit, what just happened? Because it went from like 0 to melee in a matter of seconds with this fucking stupid car bouncing across the road. Like, holy shit. I'll never forget that as long as I live. That, and then they showed a car on a, I don't know, it was probably like an F1 or a NASCAR track or something, but the car was going around the corner, and I still question who's the dumbass that put this way, but the wall and like the stands were like 6 feet out into the track, kind of, I guess. And maybe I'm seeing it wrong and it was so long ago, but for whatever reason, the car fucking railed something that didn't move as it was coming around that curve, and the car stopped and the engine didn't, and it skipped across the grandstands. Just think about that. Right. And once again, we were all sitting there like, what just happened? Why, you know, and we're just like, holy we'd never seen anything like this. Now you just fucking Google anything and there's like...
Right. I was going to say, you're so right about how it was back then. You saw, you know, even something remotely close to that, you're like, holy shit. And now you go on Instagram, you can see people get freaking shot. And
yeah, dude, it just had a little restricted thing. It's like, hey, you want to see this? Of course I want to see it. You said I shouldn't.
You know me by now?
It says I shouldn't, then I want to know. Like, there's so many things that I have looked up that I only looked up because I just had to know. There was no other fucking reason but no, I gotta see it. Like, I gotta know. Like, when Hulk Hogan put his fucking thermos out there,
What?
I was like, I gotta see this. I was like, you put out his hog.
He did?
Put out his little brother.
Out his little brother. Watch out for
Let me show you my little brother. But no, you just look shit up, man. I'm like, I gotta know. You know, once you put it out there. But yeah, dude. So F1 does have some chest crushing like sounds when it comes by. You can go deaf in that sport easily, I bet.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, if you're not wearing the proper protection.
just raw dogging it, no earwear.
Oh, some people do it too, and oh man, even as far away as we were, and you know, I feel like we were relatively close. We didn't need ear protection, but pretty close.
I believe it, dude. And you were a DJ. I mean, you've abused your ears enough. So if you're saying it's a bad thing,
I know that's saying a lot. Yeah.
So you've taken in the sport for several years now, and then we're on the phone one day, or we were chatting. I think we were texting each other. I can't remember. You were asking me something about a computer, and if you should get it, I think, or something. And he said, "Yeah, I bought a racing simulator." I said, "Son of a bitch, man, that's a thing now." Like, people legit buy like these like fucking giant ass rigs. Like, some of them are. Oh like, yeah, why didn't you buy a car? Like,
exactly. You spent a lot of money on them. like
right?
big time
But you
money.
have one now. So what do you like it? Is it fun?
Oh, I love it. Oh yeah, I'm racing every week. So I used to like play a few different games, but now for the past, I would say year, I've just stuck with iRacing, which is, I would say, the most popular for if you want like to be the most realistic. It's a subscription base, and all the content is like paid content. Like each track, each car, you have to pay for them. But I would say it is the best from what I've played as far as simulators and games that are out there.
So when you get into this simulator, it's got like not just a fucking steering wheel and, pedals. This thing actually like moves with the turns and shit like that, right? Like you feel like the G-force of a turn in it a little bit.
Mine doesn't. I don't have the
shit,
motion.
I'm sorry. Did I just fucking...
Mine's a piece of shit. So
yeah, sorry, man. I got the Fisher Price, man. It's all we can afford.
Yeah, pretty much. Exactly.
My first F1.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. Yeah. No, but those motion ones, I mean, those could go for like...
Yeah, like Joe Rogan has like one that's like insanely complex, and I think I saw a video the other day where I think Cat Williams was getting into his driving simulator at his house or some shit like that.
Oh, really?
Or I was baked and saw something completely different and don't know. Some kind of
you gotta have
dream.
like the 3-screen setup.
Yeah,
I only have just the one screen, but...
Oh, dude, man, I'm here ragging on your F1 setup. Sorry.
You don't even have a motion one?
But it's probably got like cool sound. It's probably got cool wraparound. It's probably got like a feel like you're actually part of the, the car or in the race.
Yeah, I guess, so my setup is basically, I would say it's the best it could be as far as kind of lower budget. You're in a position where you're driving a car. I have a seat that reclines and goes back and forth,
right.
And then
especially when you don't have elbows, you got to fucking move that seat real far back.
I know, all the
way. Bad driving challenge.
Yeah.
No. So that's super cool, man, that you have that. And what that made me think about was, if you were an F1 driver, there is always somebody in your ear, correct?
Oh, yeah. The team, yeah.
Yeah, the team is always in your ear. And I started to just imagine, what don't you want to hear in your earpiece during an F1 race? From
as a driver,
team lead, yes. Like, what are the things that could be said that would fuck up everything for you?
I mean, it could be as simple as you're just going along, thinking everything's all fine, and then you just hear, "We have a problem."
We have a problem. It's a big one.
But it could be 1,000 different things at that point. Sometimes they're not that direct.
What if he just went like, "I had a hot garlic pickle. Can you smell it?" You're in like turn 3 and he's doing ASMR. Or you hear him say, "Here, hold my headset. Just tell him to get to the front."
Meet me behind the trailer.
Can you extend this pit stop? Just awkward shit. You're like, what? Like, no, where is so-and-so Italian name? I just assume they're all F1 drivers and they're amazing. I'm probably wrong, but back in the day, they all were.
Yeah.
Am I right? Is there a lot of really good Italian racers in F1?
So there's one Italian kid that's starting this year. He's actually only 18. But he's the only Italian, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I just fucking made my own stereotype. Maybe it's like South American. I don't know what I'm thinking.
There's a lot of Italian drivers, like historical drivers, though.
Okay, then that's what it is. They just got phased out.
Yeah.
Couldn't hang it.
Yeah, or they got old.
Get your act together, Italy. Get your fucking drivers back out there.
Yeah, I know.
You're just shaming the country. Right? No. So what else do you think you wouldn't want to hear? Driving in a race.
Dang. You probably wouldn't want to hear your team talk, I don't know, talking badly about you and not knowing, or just not knowing the microphone's on.
Hot mic. Yeah, that's a big one. You don't want a hot mic. Like if you're like saying something, like what if you're like really saying like what's wrong with the car while not saying what's wrong with the car to the driver and you really spill the beans? So you freak them the fuck out. Yeah, everything's good, man. Don't worry about it. And you're like, actually his fucking right rear wheel is fucking flying off. Right, but you want to tell them to just slow down. Hey, we see a little bit of smoke. Just go ahead and slow down a little bit right here. Take that inside left. Instead, you're like, fuck, dude, his tire's gone. Yeah, you don't want that. No. So, F1 racing, got a new hobby. Super happy for you.
So I actually, interestingly, I don't do the F1 on iRacing. It's actually very difficult, very realistic. So I think that's what makes it difficult. But I do more of like the GT3 racing.
They should make the simulator have like a smoke or gasoline smell.
Wow, then you can really be immersed into it.
Exactly. Like you just a faint smell. Not like saying like, carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yeah. I mean, just like they do at Disney on those rides. And then, you get the smells and the...
they pump in the fucking smell of those bakery fucking goods is what they do. They're always like sending out some kind of sweet Belgian waffle smell or something like that. And you're like, oh, sheep. Just sheeple. So I was watching Impractical Jokers.
All right.
Great show. And they had a punishment that you're a tattoo guy.
Yeah.
Love a good tattoo. You got sleeves. Yeah. You're a cool guy. Right. Would you ever wager a tattoo on something? Say like in an inconspicuous area where you're not like, giving up prime real estate. You're not like, hey, put it under my fucking right eye. Not like the Monster energy drink guy across the forehead or whatever the fuck that was back in the day. But like, say like your upper right thigh under the shorts.
Okay. So what are we saying? Just like a small area?
Yeah, like,
all right.
Say there's a wager or a bet on something with your buddy and you fucking lose, and the loser has to get a tattoo of the choosing of the other person.
So I would say it depends on who the wager is.
Who the friend is.
And what the wager is. But I would say,
There's the tattoo. Yeah. The tattoo is solely at the discretion of the person giving it to you, and you cannot watch it being applied. You have to look away and reveal it after it's under, gauze or Vaseline or whatever the fuck they put on it now.
Yeah.
And they pull it back and then you get to see said tattoo.
Yeah, I would do it.
You would do that. You would take the bet.
I would take the bet.
Because you know that it could be fucking heinous. Or it could be
confident in the bet too, obviously, but
there has to be what?
I would have to be confident in the bet, right?
Oh, this is true. Like you'd have to be willing to support what it is that you're betting as well.
Right. Yeah.
I can see that. However, life happens.
I think I would do it.
Say you did lose. Or say you won. I'll tell you what happened in this particular scenario. And it couldn't have been any better in my mind, just because the sheer nonsensical fucking reasoning. And I didn't even watch the full episode. I just happened to see this for a few minutes. And I was like, holy shit, this is amazing, right? They put a tattoo on Sal's thigh. And when they revealed it, it was a fucking picture of Jaden Smith.
That's great. It's just something so random.
I was like, what the fuck do you do? It's like his whole fucking head and face. He's not even smiling. He like looks upset to be on his lip. such an uncomfortable tattoo. Like, imagine explaining to somebody as a middle-aged fucking dude with like an 18-year-old kid's fucking face on your thigh. Never mind the fact that, you know, and I'm probably using my age and views or fucking lenses on society, but I don't want to be the white dude explaining why I got a black kid's face on my leg.
Yeah, no.
Especially if he's not smiling.
And that's a long story to have to tell every time someone sees it.
He's just down. He's looking back at you. Oh, sad.
Just so disappointed, like you said.
Does that change your willingness to make a bet like this, knowing that there could be a fucking random shit like that could end up on your leg?
I think I would. I would still do it. Like you said, as long as it's like high on the thigh or something, and like really not many people are going to see it.
High on the thigh sounds like something my Uncle Randy would say. This is high on the thigh. Speaking of getting high on the thigh, we need to talk about Willie Nelson.
All right, Willie Nelson. There's a good spot in our hearts.
He does. And actually, Tom's going to kill me, my producer. Let's take a break, and when we get back, we'll talk about Willie Nelson. All right, we're back. How weird was that for you, Dan?
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad? I forgot to do our first break, so Tom, feel free to just cram it in there anywhere you want to, because I suck. But that said, what were we talking about here? I forgot.
Willie Nelson.
Yes, Willie Nelson. So one night we were hanging out. We were partaking in the devil's lettuce, if you will. Mary Jane, Reefer. There's so many names for it. Right? But we got particularly baked that evening. And I think the conversation got down to things that you could smoke to get high, but not like crack or something like that. This is all things that like mimic whatever weed is, right? And somehow we got onto the topic that what would it be like to smoke Willie Nelson's Braid?
It sends you into another dimension.
Like, do you instantly fucking like become a country legend? Like, what happens? Like, do you become the coolest guy on the planet? Because Willie Nelson's fucking cool. Like, I don't care who anybody says, that's the coolest dude.
He's one of the coolest. Yeah,
he's somebody that can walk through all societal divides with ease.
Yeah,
nobody questions Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson's at the barbecue. Willie Nelson is at the bar mitzvah. Willie Nelson is at the fucking... he's at everything, right? They're happy Willie Nelson is there. He's never rubbed anybody wrong. It's kind of like Snoop. Snoop could be anybody's fucking party. Like, nobody would question Snoop being there. So Willie Nelson's just a fucking cool dude, right?
Yeah.
But he is famous for being stoned his entire existence. And I can't fathom that he hasn't had probably the most amazing shit. Like, through like the 70s, like, what were you getting back then? Like, he's got strains that we didn't even know exist. Right?
Yeah. And that whole story is all, in his hair all the way down to wherever,
Oh, that's true.
Tell the story just by looking at the pigment of his hair.
Oh my God, dude, you could have unwrapped something there. Maybe it's like smoking a Fibonacci spiral of fucking THC heaven.
Like smoking in a time machine.
Smoking a time machine. Oh my God. Okay, so wait a minute. The question is, how do you smoke it? Do you grind it up and put it in a bowl? No. You don't do that, right? That's disrespectful.
No, I agree. I think you just smoke it whole.
You roll it up, right?
Yeah.
You just put a fucking paper on that bitch or a big ass blunt wrapper.
Yeah, you don't manipulate that thing. You just smoke that thing.
What's it feel like to lick a blunt wrapper with a fucking ponytail in your head?
Yeah.
A braided ponytail. So the question is do you leave it fucking still attached?
Huh.
Well, wait a minute. No, you would have to suck it through his mouth.
I don't know if it works like that.
That's not how it works. Just making a cartoon.
I just had $1 million idea. Okay, so we have Willie Nelson's Braid, right?
Yes.
Now you have Willie Nelson. You have a Willie Nelson style hot box, and you use it almost like an incense. You know, you have like the incense that, and then they burn for X amount of time, and you do it with this braid. And
no shit, I like this.
And it's almost like a hot box, right?
I do also like the idea of getting a Sherlock Holmes style pipe with Willie Nelson's head at the bottom and the stem being his fucking braid coming up to your mouth.
Oh my God. That's brilliant. You gotta have this done.
Braid. Oh, you could do like a double one with him and Snoop and have them braid together. That's world peace, right? Like instantly. Like if you combine the two of them into your fucking, like if they got cremated, you sprinkle that over you're enlightened at that point, right? You're just ultimate chill.
If you don't think that's world peace, then I don't care about you.
If you don't think smoking Willie Nelson's brain is going to save your soul, I'm not with you.
How could you not?
Holy shit, that's funny. Dude, the benchmark is low. What other... I don't even know how do you even segue from smoking Willie Nelson's braid? I just had to bring that up because
I know. Well, it just happened so early in our friendship, and it's just one of those staple memories.
It is,
that we'll always have. Willie Nelson's braid.
Willie Nelson's braid, dude. Willie, we appreciate you, and I'm not going to come out and snip your braid off, but if you do happen to want to do anything with it when it's all said and done, I would definitely do that just to honor you. I would, not the whole thing. Like, I'm not like putting that thing in my mouth like a stogie. I'll put a strand in a joint.
You want it like a Twizzler?
Oh. Gross. Suck on it like a fucking kid with
it's a gummy.
Oh. No hair gummies. Hair gummy. That is so if you had to get or give a tattoo to me and it is your moment to lay one on me, are you gonna go light or are you gonna fucking stick it to me? That's the other thing. Like, because we have fucking dark humor.
Yeah, right.
So the level is unbelievably high that could happen.
Right. And I would have to certainly think about it, as far as the content of the tattoo goes, but there was no way I would go light. It would be dark and heavy all the way. And I'll tell you why. I think you would, number one, appreciate it. And number two, you'd be disappointed if I went light, I think.
The only one disappointed in this is my wife. She used to look at me disappointed. Now I just noticed that disappointment's in herself. For picking me. She isn't even upset with me anymore. She's just like, whatever, dude. I got him, man. God, that's funny, man. I'm I'm crying. Son of a bitch. So I want to move on to one last topic before we wrap up. But before then, let's talk to some advertisers or some shit. Tom, this is the break. And we're back. So I like to wrap up a good night of the devil's lettuce with snacks.
Ooh.
Right? The munchies. Right?
Oh,
I was thinking about it the other day when I sat down and we had ordered food. I think it was from Outback Steakhouse or something. And I just said, hey, grab some of their wings. What do you get? I just wanted some chicken wings. I don't even care. I don't even know if they're that great there or whatever. And when I sat down, it was in front of me. And I was like, I had my wings. And then I just wondered, who the fuck picked blue cheese? Like, how did this happen? Like, who thought to take the leap from rotten cheese spicy chicken wing? Like, that's a leap, dude. That's kind of like who the fuck ate beets first. I'd like to throttle that person.
I love chicken wings. I love them. I have to say I'm with you on this.
Makes no sense.
I don't get it. I never order it.
I love it. I just don't understand how it happened.
Oh, you
like?
Like?
Is
you
it like
like
the Reese's cop and the other dude? They bump into each other with chocolate and my peanut butter and some peanut butter and my chocolate. You know, like that stupid old commercial or whatever. I don't understand how you get blue cheese. Like, that's like you spilled it in one of those like tubs by accident on your chicken wings, like, and you're just mad and still hungry. Or
and I don't mind blue cheese, but I don't use it on my chicken wings because I think it takes away from the flavor of the sauce. And I'm a big like chicken wing sauce guy. I like different kind of sauces. So,
are you a breaded or naked wing guy?
I would say naked for sure, but I don't like them too crispy. You know how like 98% of the world orders their chicken wings extra crispy? I don't. I just want them like just done, you know?
If they're not breaded, they shouldn't be crispy. They should be like grilled. Don't deep fry my fucking wing unless it's got breading on it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my thought process on that. And you can make
wings that are breaded, but just don't typically have them.
Like a Hooters style wing isn't bad. It's like every now and then you find like the right one that's got some breading on it. And it tastes good, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to put that in a category, though, is I believe that choice would definitely be something a stoner would pick. Right? That's a stoner combo, right? Or is that
I would say so. Yeah. It sounds like it.
Like, that's a leap that you make under the influence of THC.
Right.
If your cooked meat,
there's no other options here.
Yeah, if your cooked meat gets dipped in the bottom row of your refrigerator door, there's a problem. You're selected from the wrong location. No. I thought that was weird. And so I looked up, like, I guess there are some new food combos that people have out there that they love.
Combos.
Correct. And they're some of them are heinous looking. I don't understand, but apparently they're supposed to fucking, what is the term now? Slap or whatever the fuck it is. Right? So blue cheese and hot wings, right? Already blew my mind. But the next one was peanut butter and bacon sandwiches.
Okay, I could get behind it, but not as a meal, I don't think.
Oddly, it's one that you can taste in advance, having never tasted it. You can almost feel like it would combine before you got there. Like, I could see that working.
I could see it on on toast, on some toast. But yeah,
especially if the bacon was hot.
I don't think I'd hate it, but I'm not choosing it. You know?
No, I'm not going out of my way. This is all that's left scenario.
So, but these are the people that are doing this though consistently.
Yeah. No, 100%. Like, that's a guy that says, fuck, man, all we got is bacon and peanut butter left and some bread. Like,
Well,
right?
here we go.
There it goes. He'll fucking eat something. Like, how far is Sonic? Why do people only pick Sonic when they're in fucking dire straits? That's never like Sonic. Oh, fucking hate it. So gross.
It is terrible. Sorry, Sonic.
It's
I'm
like
sorry.
carnival food.
I've tried it enough times now.
No. The next one was, and I think this has been around for a long time, people that dip their fries in a milkshake.
No, not me. You know
No,
who is
not me either. They don't belong together. Your wife would do that?
Yeah.
Some weird shit. That's
why
weird.
is that a thing? Why is it a thing?
Again, who combined it?
I'm right.
Somebody, but who continued it?
Oh, hey, people swear by it now, and I think like
no.
Like
are the fries hot?
Yeah, you order them hot, and it's just
so
a
they like melt the ice cream a little bit or the shake a little as you're eating it.
It's probably.
I can't imagine eating a fucking tepid McDonald's fry that's like not hot and then dipping that in a fucking.
It wouldn't even go in. Probably.
I feel like I already have the hiccups. Like. It doesn't sound good, right? Speaking of drinks, the next one is pickles and Kool-Aid.
Oh, God. Wow.
It's called a koolical.
Oh, no.
Originated in the South, especially the Mississippi Delta. Were they stoned?
Yes. Come on. That's an easy one.
On something. Whether it was like government water or fucking weed.
No undisturbed person is not choosing that.
Just stirring a fucking Vlasic in your fucking Kool-Aid.
It gets Kool-Aid stains on the pickle as you
You remember that experiment you did in like fucking second grade where they made you put celery and like food coloring in water and it would like turn the color of that, like it would change it?
No, we didn't turn celery different colors at my school.
I was poor. Like, we didn't have good shit. We had to use celery for fucking class. They made you keep it for lunch after.
I was going to say, colorful celery for lunch today, everyone.
Awful. Celery's fucking gross.
No, of course not.
Who the fuck was the first one to gnaw on a hunk of celery? It'd be a hungry motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's not on a list of plants that I would just be like, hey.
Isn't it like 90% water anyways?
Well, why is it fucking, who also put that in with chicken wings? Like, if there was a trio that you weren't expecting at the party, it's a fucking spicy wing, some moldy cheese, and a fucking tasteless vegetable.
It just doesn't make sense.
No, that's like what's left in the fridge.
I know. Yeah, just like the peanut butter, bacon, and
exactly, dude. That's not a combo. Apparently, Doritos and cream cheese is one. They're called lazy nachos or a depression dinner.
But how is that put together?
Well, I imagine you probably just dip it in like that whipped cream cheese.
Yeah, isn't the whipped cream cheese kind of thick?
It's not too thick.
Not too thick. That's why Dorito.
Yeah, you can't. You definitely can't do like a block of fucking Philly. You can throw it at it like a Chinese star. Stick it into it. You get it fucking cut into it. You're not dipping it. Although you can take a slice, man, a whole slice of fucking cream cheese on a Dorito. Dorito.
That's too much. No way.
You have to make it like a sandwich.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I can see it wouldn't be like horrible, because cheese is just good on anything.
Yeah,
Right.
but you use cream cheese and like chicken wing dip or taco dip. But with it alone, I don't know. You got to jazz it up a little,
Yeah, just raw dogging it on a fucking nacho Dorito is kind of.
It's not enough. In a
See,
pinch,
for you,
maybe.
in a stoner pinch, definitely would make that combo. I would probably warm the cheese up though.
Yeah.
Make it a little bit easier than me fucking just trying to spread that bitch.
Slice it.
No, I don't want to eat a slice of cream cheese on my Dorito. The last one was, this is just crime. Spaghetti and ranch dressing. It's called Ranch Getty. How does your Italian roots and New York heritage feel right now hearing?
You know what? I don't know the whole thing with ranch. Like, people just love it.
What is good. Ranch?
It's good. Don't get me wrong, but
no. Tell me what it is. The only ranch I know is where you raise cattle. There's not a ranch tree. There's not a ranch plant. There's not a ranch animal. Where the fuck is ranch? Ranch is a place. It's a thing.
And there's like
food.
And there's Southwest range too.
No. I'm railing on like the whole millennial nation because they fucking dip everything in ranch.
Like
that generation is definitely about the ranch.
Oh, you ever see some of those videos and people are like just covering a whole slice of pizza in ranch? They don't eat it on camera.
So gross, dude.
Just like thinking about eating it. Oh my god, no way.
I actually, you just reminded me. I had a combo that I came up with back in the day.
Okay.
So everybody loves a good Totino's pizza roll.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Especially when they're out of the oven, not microwave. Microwaved are because you're too hungry to wait. Right? Otherwise, it would always be through the oven and be like nice and crisp.
Nice,
right?
Yeah, definitely.
Scald your fucking mouth out, whatever.
Yeah.
There's probably been ER visits over fucking pizza rolls.
Sure of it.
Right? So, again, probably under the influence of the devil's lettuce back in like the fucking early 2000s or some shit. But had some Totino's pizza rolls and went to the fridge. They were so fucking hot. And I was like, I want to eat them now. I'm really hungry, so I got to dip them in something. And I opened the fridge, and there it was. Hell of a French onion dip. That just went the peanut butter and bacon route, didn't it? It kind of just, imagine it's super hot. It's super hot. So like you can eat it at full heat with a little bit of cold hell of a French onion dip on it. Put it tongue side down.
Oh man. All right.
Dig it, right? That's a good combo, I think.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent. Yeah, I would say I would do that definitely. That sounds good.
Yeah, you're gonna try it. You're like,
hell of a good.
Can you order me some
horseradish?
What with horseradish?
Bacon horseradish dip from Hello Good.
Oh yeah. Do you like legit? You're not a spicy food guy. Oh, you are. Yeah. Why did?
Oh yeah.
That's right. I invited you over for chili. That said, spicy foods will fuck you up. Like, I've had some life experiences with spicy foods that I love them, right? But not to that degree.
Yeah.
Anymore. I think that's an age game.
I think so too.
Isn't it? Spice is an age scenario. Because there's no reason to eat super spicy food beyond a certain spice level.
Yeah,
before it just becomes a situation. Like, if it's got challenge in the end of the sentence, no, I don't want to do it. When I was 21, oh yeah.
Challenge.
What's that?
I did that one shift challenge, yeah.
How'd you do?
I mean, I made it through, but it was painful. It was a solid 5 minutes straight of like hot. Like you can't even describe it. I drank like a quarter of a gallon of milk, I think.
Gotta use milk. I got pepper sprayed a shit ton of times in the Army.
Oh, yeah.
And the only fucking thing that works on that shit is milk.
Milk,
like
yeah.
You pour it straight on your face like you're in a fucking end of a, adult film.
Nice milk shot.
Just fucking gallon. Just fucking, because your face is just on fire. Right. So, yeah, milk is definitely where you go.
Yeah.
If you don't know that, don't go to the water hose. Don't stick your face in water. Get milk.
Oh, definitely not water.
Yeah. If I were to be a fucking, like, I feel like Dave Chappelle or the Chappelle Show back in the day would have had like a sticker on a police car skit that says like got milk. He just holds it while they're spraying people. I can see him doing that or some shit. Oh shit, dude. So I appreciate that you would not go light on me in the tattoo arena. So if we can go back there, wrap up. And you have my word that if we ever end up in a tattoo bet scenario, I will not go light. It'll be something that makes you rethink shit that you have to do out with family and the fact that your pants might ride up.
I know. And the thing is, I have an idea of like how bad it would be, but I know that if you ever did it, it would be like, here's my expectation, but like, here is what would actually happen.
Same with you. Like, I would go in like, all right, he's going to kill me. But it'll end up being something that A, I will never remove. And B, will cherish telling the story as to how the fuck I ended up with, a Jaden Smith tattoo on my thigh or where the fuck you end up picking. Because that's an awkward conversation no matter what. So I love picking things that put people in positions where they're like, well, you see, it wasn't me. But this isn't what I'm trying to say. just standing there. But honestly, it's a filter for fucked up people, because if you can't see a joke on a leg and take it that way, or if you judge somebody for having it, then you're the piece of shit.
I don't care about you.
Right on, man. Dude, I'm so happy that I got to have you on finally. This is way overdue.
Yeah, this was awesome.
Welcome anytime. We'll do some detention episodes. You can come back in. We'll BS. We have guests on.
To. Thanks so much for having me.
Right? So, yeah, thank you to Pod Populi. And remember, everybody, to be cool and keep learning.